Oh boy, I am feeling nervous already. Hello everyone, I'm Jaune and welcome back. It is time for Volume 9, Chapter 9, the penultimate episode of this volume. And yeah, I'm nervous. I'm really, really nervous and excited and, the usual feeling that I've had for every new episode for a very, very long time. Last episode was obviously a significant one and has set us up for what is definitely looking to be a very interesting finale, or final couple episodes. I don't really know what to expect. Every time I've tried to think of, well, what could we see in this episode and in chapter 10, my mind just runs blank and I don't really have anything, which is both exciting and terrifying. We don't know anything about this episode, aside from the usual hype stuff from RWBY that we're used to at this point. Although one of them is from Casey, so we'll be getting another song, so that is fun. And yeah, I think that's everything that I want to go over. So let's just get right into this. Okay, here we are. Volume 9, Chapter 9, A Tale Involving a Tree. It's a short episode. Short-ish, short compared to all the others. But, yeah. Oh boy. What are the odds that they've changed something again in the intro after the last episode? What are the odds? Probably not. They probably haven't, but it's the expectation you set, you know? Once you do it once, God, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous I'm double checking if I've got everything right. Everything's recording. Heart do be pounding. Beating pretty fast too.
A door opened for Alyx at the tree.
Ah. A literal door.
She went back home. The girl had a great many questions to ponder.
So we're gonna get the rest of the narration?
After all the lessons she'd learned, and the friends she'd made and lost, who had she become? Would she still be the same Alyx when she went back home? The leaves of the tree rustled, and on the wind, Alyx heard one more question. What are you?
I don't understand. Alyx, the pleasers, now RWBY. What does this place want?
You can't do that to me straight up, dude. Oh, what a shot.
Understand. What did I do wrong?
We can figure this out. There's got to be a way to get to the tree.
Hello there. You appear upset. Would you be so kind as to tell me how I can help? Perhaps you are hungry?
Huh? No, that's okay.
If I can get you anything else, please don't hesitate to ask. That's what I'm here for.
What are you?
We are the Genial Gems, and we have arrived here to clean up this beautiful land and create something wonderful and pleasing.
Yep. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, cool.
This is them, isn't it? They're back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like they said. They came back from the tree better. No flood or fire will
That
ever
is
hurt them.
pretty.
By trying so hard to save them, I stopped them from becoming what they needed to be. I was being selfish because I wanted the rush of rescuing someone. And I got that here.
I
Yeah.
think you're asking too much of yourself. We've been telling ourselves that failing means we're no good. But I can guarantee even the best huntsman in history, they've all lost. But they were still incredibly brave. And good.
Weiss. Maybe that cat was right. Maybe I just needed to accept it.
There you go.
It's not a place you go.
Yep. It's a place you know.
What?
I think we're here.
It's a place you know.
So what do you know?
Ruby?
We have to get her out!
I think I get it. This is how we got here, or why the tree brought us here. Acceptance.
We've done everything we can. Now it's up to Ruby. Whatever happens next, we have to welcome that.
But what if she isn't Ruby anymore when she comes back out?
Ah, cool.
Maybe
See ya.
it's not for us to decide.
Yep. Ah, get to see the... Not in shadow.
I didn't expect you here just yet.
I wasn't expecting to be here.
Are you the tree?
You could say that. But that is a simplistic understanding of the tree and what it does.
What's going to happen to me? Am I gonna die?
The only thing that can happen to you here is what you want to happen. The choice of what you become and where you end up is yours to make. You don't know what you want, do you?
What's that?
I was going to ask the exact same thing. Ah. Dragons.
Our way home.
Oh. Not working for you, is it? Hey, buddy.
Oh, good! You made it!
I guess your little plan to get out of here isn't working?
You've always been
I love that
worst
animation. That was great.
So Neo can't go through the door.
No. She has no attachments to your world. Nothing to return to.
Yep.
She has failed me, just like Alyx did.
Like Alyx?
The cowardly, wretched girl whose story you've been foolishly
Here it
following
comes.
all along.
Yep.
The same girl that I followed too. Because she promised me she would bring me back to Remnant with her. When in truth, she had no intention of taking me. No, after talking to the tree, she had a sudden crisis of conscience. Decided she wanted to fix everything she'd broken in the ever after, including poor Jaune. And so Lewis went. And at the very last moment, Alyx didn't.
What did you do to her?
What anyone would do with a broken, useless thing. No, you didn't. You monster!
Oh, dude.
She's still here. Yes! All my work. It's not lost! Deep down, she wants nothing more than to return to Remnant and play hero. I just need to cut her out, and she will take me there.
No. Whatever happens to Ruby is up to her. Not you or anyone else.
Then I'll put you in the ground.
Oh, look at this. This is pretty.
These lights.
The souls that are moving on to whatever they become next.
Do they choose what their next life will be like?
Such concern for souls you don't know. Or is it for yourself?
There's no way we're letting you get to Ruby!
But don't you see?
Look at the arms.
Who's out of that tree might not even be your sister any longer.
Jesus.
I wanted to be
Strings, baby.
like the stories that my mom read to me. I just wanted to do the right thing, but every step of the way, it's like there is no right thing. I tried so hard, and I may have just done more harm than good. I don't understand who I need to be, because who I am right now, she's not cutting it.
What if you could be anyone?
This whole time, I thought Alyx made it back home and lied about everything that happened here. But you were the one who killed, who lied!
You were never a brave knight either. Just more fairy tale nonsense.
Oh, hell. Don't do that, please.
No!
Take your pick. Dude, Volume 1 RWBY would love this place.
Too.
It's not about who did, but who could. Can you feel the woman who might hold it?
I recognize that spear down there. It's the White Fang spear from Volume 5.
Could be you. You could put any one of them on and leave Ruby Rose behind.
I'm glad we got one.
It's all so heavy. It's the only thing I can feel anymore. And it never, ever goes away. The feeling of not being enough.
I recognize that.
And how would you measure enough?
Before she went back home,
Mom.
the girl had a great many questions to ponder. What are you?
Oh, holy shit. Well, yeah, right. Short episode. Fuck. Fuck. Holy shit, look at that. Oh my god. Ah, dude. Ooh. Listen to that. Oh, cool. Hell yeah. Oh, give me the full version of this art, please. That felt really, really short. And I'm guessing the reason this one was so short is because next week's going to be a big one. Okay, let's try and think about all this for a second. Actually, no, what? Not even going to think about it. Let's just go skim through this, because I think I've learned my lesson that I'm not very good at recalling all this stuff immediately after watching it. Oh, so yeah, we're getting the rest of the narration, which it's summer. Cool. I think some people called that. So good job to them. Summer reading the story to them, to both Yang and RWBY. Oh man. And we didn't get like a full shot of her, but we got the concept art, so ah, look at little RWBY. We can got little Yang too. There she is. Look at her. Oh man. What is that little drawing on the wall? That's interesting. This like woody look is very different, because like the characters and stuff are usually like they have that like cell shaded look. So, and this obviously doesn't, and the texturing is all different. So it just looks a bit weird. Good, but weird. Oh, some of the food. Oh no. And then we got the paper pleasers. Well, no, not the paper pleasers anymore, but they've ascended into what are they called? The Genial Gems. Genial Gems. And they're making stuff pretty again. And boy, was this pretty. Look at this. Man. Effects team are just so good.
They're back. It's just like they said.
Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. Ah. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, there was that one shot of Jaune with the, where was that? That was like when they got here, right? All the way up there it was. Yeah. I don't think I've ever noticed how blue his eyes are before. Or are they purple? I'm going to assume they're blue. I'm colorblind, by the way, in case that didn't give it away. But I'm assuming they're blue. And they are beautiful eyes. Look at that. All right. Where were we? We were... yeah. Hugs. Hugs are very valuable. Yes, so we get to the tree and... yeah. So the people that are, you know, taken up by the big old holes in the ground, they get taken here to the tree and are turned into parts of the tree until they are repurposed. Which we see here with the herbalist, who has completed his metamorphosis. Because he had, like, the top half of him was sort of like fully formed, but he still was carrying around like the cocoon. Or I guess it was more just the actual like caterpillar part, wasn't a cocoon. Yeah. But now, whoa, fully formed wings, and notice that they are butterfly wings. And he has legs. Look at him. He reminds me of the fucking bad guy from A Bug's Life. The grasshopper. Yeah, and then we get this place. And we have the blacksmith, who I guess is the almighty being behind the tree and behind the ever after, I guess. And we get to see them in full detail here. There's a lot more color to them than I was expecting. And all the details are really cool. Oh yeah, what was that mask that they were making?
Expecting to be here.
Here just yet.
Is that a rabbit? Yeah. So, the gateway to Remnant. And the dragons are there. The gods are there. And that is some beautiful ornamentation. I really like that. Look at Weiss. That's a great still. Still weird seeing Neo talk. Like, you know, her body talking, her mouth moving as if she's talking. It's very weird. Oh, this animation for Weiss was wonderful.
You made it!
I guess your little plan to get out of here isn't working?
That's great. That is so great. That and Kara's delivery, that's so fucking good. Right, yeah, so the truth about Alyx. She did not go back to Remnant. I think we all have sort of arrived at a similar conclusion. But it seems like she just died. The cat just killed her. So that's an oof. But Lewis does go back to the Remnant. And so he would be the one that writes the book. And I suppose now it makes sense why Alyx would... Wait, no, what am I saying? No, never mind. What I'm saying makes no sense. I mean, okay, so I guess there's still the question of, well, why did he write himself out of the book? Like, why was there no mention of him if he's the one that wrote it? I suppose there could be like an obvious answer there, but I'll have to think about it. Yeah, so Alyx... So she...
Everything she'd broken in the ever after. No, after talking to the tree, she had a sudden crisis of conscience.
Okay. So I guess the cat was doing what it's done to RWBY and like wearing her down, which is what caused the whole distrust thing that we heard about in chapter 6. And then they get to this point, and by the looks of that, Alyx has a similar experience to what RWBY's going through right now, and that changes her perspective, and suddenly she wants to fix everything that has, gone wrong. Which obviously displeases the cat. So yeah, Alyx goes back.
Last moment.
Wait, let me listen to this again.
Including poor Jaune. And so Lewis went. And at the very last moment, Alyx didn't.
What?
Yeah, so I guess, just killed her. Man, that sucks.
You didn't, you monster!
There's that like synthy wop 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 thing that is very much a telltale sign of, I think, Martin Gonzalez, because I'm pretty sure in a bunch of his score features that quite prominently. Like if you go back to Volume 8, the beginning and the end of the Hazel Salem fight has that. The bit where Ironwood kills Jacques has that as well. That's very much a marker for Martin. Yeah. Ooh, listen to that though. Listen to that.
Yes.
That vocal bit.
All my work.
Lots of stuff to listen to, which I will be doing. Look at the arms. The proportions are just so weird. Look at it. So thin little arms, and then look at the size of them. Well, I keep playing it instead of... Oh, Jesus. That is a sight. They all are different. They've all got different colours. I'm sort of... not surprised, but it's like, oh, Yang did not hesitate. She destroyed those things. Oh, God, this bit. I didn't really catch the full thing because I was like, oh, Jesus, fuck. Yeah, dude, that is so mean. That is so fucking mean, dude. Don't do that to my boy. Please and thank you. Oh, and yeah, and this is the last time we see him in this episode because...
No!
Yeah, and there's the big puff of smoke, which is the same... That's the same smoke that we saw from the obelisk, right? Wonder if there's anything significant there. Yeah, and so that's the last time we see Jaune. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Yeah, so a lot of these weapons, well, two of them I noticed are definitely ones that we've seen before from earlier volumes. Oh, there's Summer's axe right there. Look at it, it's right there. Cool. Yeah, let's see if we can pick out... I think we've seen that hammer before. I think we saw that in volume 6 in the fight with Maria. One of the goons had it, I'm pretty sure. Or one of them had a hammer. Whether it's that same model or not, I don't know. Yeah. So this spear here is the same one that was used by the White Fang in volume 5. In a bunch of different scenes, like the guards next to Sienna in volume 5 had that. And the little sword next to it, this thing here, is the bandit sword, also from volume 5, that, well, the bandits use.
She could be you. You could put any one of them on and leave Ruby Rose behind.
Oh, that's such a good little... I'm really glad that we have got at least one Red Lake Roses this volume, because, yeah, for how big this volume is for RWBY, I definitely think we could have used some more earlier on, but I'm glad we are getting at least one. And then the music that follows this, I do recognize it. I gotta place it.
It's all so heavy. It's the only thing I can feel anymore. And it never, ever goes away. The feeling of not being...
Where do I know that from?
And how would you measure enough?
Before she went back.
Okay, where... I know that. And it is from RWBY. I definitely recognize that from RWBY. Like, it's not from something else. Hang on. Let's do it again. Run it back.
It's all so heavy. It's the only thing I can feel anymore. And it never, ever goes away. The feeling of not being enough.
And how would you measure enough?
I think I know where it's from. Whether this is an intentional callback or not, I don't know. If it is, it's an interesting one because I don't really see the connection. But it sounds so similar that if it isn't a direct callback to that, then that's one hell of a coincidence. But that is... What I'm thinking of is from volume 3, in chapter 8, the scene with Crow and Yang when, well, at first they talk about, what happened in the tournament, and then they talk about Raven. But the beginning of that scene and then the end of that scene is that. And actually, no, I will pull that up right now. Volume 3, Destiny. So, yeah, we skim all the way ahead to here. I think the first bit of this is actually not in the soundtrack. Yeah, no, it's not. It's the only the final bit is. But we do also hear that at the start of that scene. There it is. compare that to... You're getting a first class view into how I do this usually.
It's all so heavy. It's the only thing I can feel anymore. And it never, ever goes away.
Yeah.
The feeling of not being enough.
And how would you measure?
Okay, so that's an interesting one. Because it sounds so... It sounds the same. It sounds exactly the same. So either it's one hell of a coincidence, or there is something here that I'm not seeing. Or maybe that music from Volume 3 has appeared somewhere else and I'm just not remembering it. I don't think it has. Like, I cannot recall that appearing anywhere else. But, yeah, whatever. I will be thinking about that for a while. And if and when I learn more about that, well, you'll hear about it in the discussion section. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah. Moving on. Summer's axe. And then Ruby reaches out for it, and...
What are you?
we get that question, and that's it. Boy. Right. Written by Eddie and Kersey, directed by Dustin and Issa. Awesome. Casey definitely was not lying about the lo-fi element. it very much is. Right, so Summer, look at that. Hard to believe. There she is. And we now have confirmation of a voice actress for Summer. So that's really cool. And this... what is that? Like, it almost... it sounds like a woodwind, but at the end of it, it doesn't. What is that? That is such an interesting sound. This art, by the way, please give me the full version. Please and thank you. Okay. You know, for a short episode, there was a lot of stuff in there. And a fun episode too. You know, I was nervous and expecting some more, like, terrible things. But no, it was actually kind of nice. Sort of. Some parts were a bit... eek. But for the most part, I was, like, smiling and happy. Silently hoping that the finale doesn't completely tear the rug out from under us and make us feel awful again. I don't think it will. I think we're going to get at least a semi-happy ending to this volume. That's next week. In the meantime, I'm going to watch the hell out of this and make all my notes and do the discussion section. So, yeah. See you then.
Discussion section. So I edited the first part of the video last night, and wow, I did not realize how long I talked in like the post-episode part. It's already a bit of a long video, this one, so hopefully this discussion doesn't end up making it ridiculously long. So, yeah, fingers crossed. starting off with music as usual, which is probably for the best because this is probably the part that I'm probably going to talk the most about, which itself is kind of ironic because I'm only really talking about one part. The rest of the music is great, it's fine, I've just got not a whole lot to say about it, but the ending bit, the final scene is fun. Firstly, because we finally got a reference to Red Like Roses in this volume, which was lovely, and it was a really, really pretty and beautiful reference to it too. That was good. I already mentioned it earlier, but I'm just really, really happy that we have got at least one in this volume, because this is a very RWBY-centric volume. Definitely should have been more. And now, the big thing to talk about is what comes after Red Like Roses. So, as you saw during my, I guess, little leitmotif detective work earlier, it's interesting. It's very interesting. And since then, it's become more interesting. If you haven't seen it, Peter Jones, the composer for this scene, did a wonderful breakdown of, well, all of it, all the stuff that went into the music for this scene. And he confirmed that this particular part of it was an intentional callback to Volume 2. Volume 2, Chapter 6, Burning the Candle, the scene between Yang and Blake. Now, you notice that is not the scene that I was talking about earlier. So, I was wrong then, right? Well, not really. As it turns out, that idea has appeared in a number of places. After some more leitmotif detective work from myself and Sarah, aka @Melot on Twitter and on YouTube, a likely origin of the idea was found from Volume 1, specifically Volume 1, Chapter 13, the scene with RWBY and Jaune, the same scene that Jaune's theme comes from, which, you know what, I think I'll just play all these examples here. That sounds like a good idea. Right, so this from Volume 1, Chapter 13. And you hear it throughout the rest of that as well. But that is the likely origin point of it. Whether that was what was being called back to in Volume 2, I don't know. And then, of course, we have Burning the Candle, which is this. Which, this is what is being called back to in the new episode, specifically this. And it's the bit coming up that you hear quite clearly at the very end of the episode. This here. You can hear this very clearly at the very end of the new episode. So yeah, there's that one. Okay, and here's where it gets interesting, because the rest of them are sort of in association with another idea that, if you're familiar with the Leitmotif document that I have, you'll recognize this as the Yang's Pain motif. Not the actual melody itself, but the piano underneath it is what we're focusing on. So this first example from Volume 2, Chapter 11. It's not a piano here, but you get what I mean. So there's that one. And then there's the one that I was talking about earlier, which is this one. And this time it is piano. Again, not focusing on that melody, focusing on the piano underneath. Which becomes a lot more obvious because we just hear that in the rest of this scene. Although it's not on the piano. But it's the same idea. But yeah, I already went over that, so you get the idea. And then as far as I can tell, final time we hear it, up until the latest episode, that is this one from Volume 3, Chapter 12. So yeah. So based on all that, what is the conclusion? Well, firstly, I failed to notice the connection between the burning the candle part of it and then all the other parts of it. So, cool. Secondly, if we're looking to try and put a name onto this idea, I mean, there's an inherent danger in assigning names to musical ideas like retroactively, because the music, like that music from Volume 2 and Volume 3 was not originally intended to be or represent anything in particular. So retroactively trying to make it do that can be dangerous. That said, though, an idea that I had while listening to all of it and thinking about it was, I'm personally, at the moment, thinking of it as an idea that sort of represents the Rose Xiaolong family. Is that what you call them? I don't know. But all the times that it appears, aside from the potential first one, I guess, has that sort of connection to that family. The Volume 2 one has Yang talking about Summer and also talking about Raven. All the Yang's Pain stuff has to do with Yang and Raven. And the most recent one is more along the lines of RWBY and Summer. So, yeah. But again, that's just me. Don't take that as any sort of confirmation or whatever you want to call it. You can think of this idea as representing anything you want. You can call it whatever you want, as long as you understand that it, in all likelihood, probably is not intended to be that way. At least, overall. Like, its appearance in the most recent episode is directly calling back
to Volume 2, and specifically with Yang referring to summer, so there's that connection to summer that's linking these two together. Yeah, leitmotifs are a very complicated and very, very, very fun thing, which is why I love them. Okay, so I think that's music done. Okay, so some of the smaller stuff to mention. First off, can we give an absolute huge shout out to, well, the entire post-production team? The visual post team, the effects team. God damn, there was some pretty stuff in this episode. Something that I completely forgot about, sadly, in the initial reaction was we had no sign of Little or Crescent Rose in this episode. Or was there? The mask, or whatever it is, that the blacksmith is making in this episode. I as I said, I thought it was a rabbit, but I think it being a mouse makes a lot more sense, considering that, you know, Little did fall into the hole as well, and this may be the blacksmith or, you know, the tree, repurposing Little, which would make sense because back in Chapter 5, the blacksmith was making a wing, a butterfly wing, and we saw that exact same wing this episode with the herbalist. The herbalist's ascended form. So I guess that scene back then was, you know, after the herbalist had gone to the tree, the blacksmith was working on making them anew. Yeah, I like that detail. You already saw my reaction to it twice earlier, but goddamn, Sassy Weiss is best Weiss. Kara's delivery and the animation by Michael Evangelista in that little bit with Weiss. Oh my god. And I love the cast response, just like, you always were the worst. It's great. Small thing that could just potentially be absolutely nothing, but the, like, weapon cases that all the weapons are in at the end of the episode, they have, like, the vines around them and that patterning, which reminded me of the, like, vine pattern that is on Ozpin's cane. No idea if there's significance there or not. Could easily be nothing. But I was like, interesting. Okay, what else do we have to talk about? Oh! Summer Rose. She has a new design, and it is a wonderful one. We didn't get to see, a full shot of her in the show proper, but of course we got the concept art, and it is really, really cool. And confirmation of her weapon, that the axe we saw earlier was indeed her weapon, which, brings up that question again. Well, why is it here in the Ever After? Why is Summer's weapon here? But yeah, that opening scene is very simple and very, very nice. Summer reading the book, which we finally see the book. It was in the intro. We've seen that model of the book in the intro. Now we finally see it. I was starting to wonder whether we'd actually see it. But yeah, that little scene is very, very nice. Next up, a little bit on Jaune. It's nice to see him, realizing and accepting his flaws, mistakes, and all that stuff. What wasn't so nice to see is that moment that he has in the fight. That was the meanest thing I have ever seen. That was not very kind. Please don't do that again. And of course, after that, he falls off the tree. So, question is, well, what's going to happen to him? His shield was noticeably on fire, which does kind of concern me because of, what he's based on. But the most interesting thing there is what we see when he falls. We see that smoke, which I think is the exact same smoke that we saw with the herbalist. So what could that mean? If that is the same sort of smoke, then will Jaune be having a similar experience to what, all of RWBY went through? Their experience and theirs showed them, younger representations of themselves. So will it do the same for him? And is this going to be tied to any sort of way that he can, revert back to a younger self? I don't know. I'm silently hoping. So, the door to Remnant. What a cool design. Each of the doors has one of the gods on it in their dragon form, and it looks beautiful. And above it, there's a carving picture. What the hell am I talking about? But it's the tree. You can see the tree. Neo can't go back through because she has nothing to attach her to Remnant. She has nothing to go back to. So, does that mean she is staying here? We learn more about Alyx and Lewis once they got to the tree. Alyx talked to the tree, seemed to have had a similar experience to what RWBY is going through currently, which changed her mind, and she decided she wanted to fix everything that I guess she'd broken in the Ever After, which upset the cat. So Lewis left, but Alyx was seemingly killed by the cat. Or was she? We've established that things don't really die here in the Ever After, but does that apply to someone who is not from the Ever After? I don't know. And if Alyx didn't die and was, ascended, comes back to the question from chapter 5. Who could they be? Is Alyx little? Is Alyx the blacksmith? Is Juniper? Any whole range of them. If there is an answer to that, I'm expecting it in the finale. And finally, RWBY. In this episode, RWBY is offered the choice of what to become. And she's offered that choice through weapons, which is very cool and interesting. Volume 1 RWBY would absolutely love this, which is an apt sort of comparison to make because, one of the very first things RWBY ever says back in Volume 1, weapons, they're extensions of ourselves, they're a part of us. So, that's neat. So yeah, this decision is hers. It's hers to make. It's not being made by anyone else. It is all made by her. And the others accept that in this episode. That this is RWBY's decision and they will just have to accept whatever decision she makes. And RWBY still, at least until the end of the episode, doesn't know what choice to make. Saying things like, I wanted to be the hero. I just wanted to do the right thing, but it's like there is no right thing. I don't understand who I need to be because who I am right now isn't cutting it. Even now, she just doesn't know what to do, and that is a very, very understandable and relatable thing. And she's offered the choice to become anyone. All the weapons. I love the line about, when RWBY asks, who did this weapon belong to? And the blacksmith replies, it's not about who the weapons belong to. It's about who the weapons could belong to. I really like that. And towards the end, RWBY seems to finally know what her issue is. She seems to finally be able to put it into words. That feeling of not being enough. And the blacksmith's reply to that is very interesting. How would you measure enough? And at that point, of course, Ruby sees Summer's axe and reaches out and is going to take it, it seems. So, what's going to happen there? Is Ruby deciding to more or less become her mother because that's who she felt she was not enough like? And if so, how is that gonna work? This is all stuff that, we'll be seeing next week. So, man, this episode was very short, but there was still quite a lot to it. And because this episode was so short, that does mean that next week, the finale, is going to be a long one. And thanks to the average runtime of the episode being mentioned before Volume 9 started, the exact average runtime, it was 18 minutes and 52 seconds. Because of that, smart people who can do math, so not me, have figured out pretty much the exact runtime of the finale, which I think was 26 minutes and 9 seconds or something like that. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, it is very hard to believe and exciting and scary that next week is the finale, and then we're back into the land of hiatus. This volume has definitely raced by pretty quickly, and it has been one hell of a ride. I will definitely have more to say about the volume as a whole and RWBY and everything after the finale, or maybe before the finale. I don't know. I'll be saying something probably because I want to say more among the wider community publicly, because I'm usually just the observer, making the odd comment here and there. But I want to talk more. I want to be a part of more. That's a whole other thing, and I do not want to ramble. So that'll be Volume 9, Chapter 9. Next week, the finale. I'm excited. I'm scared. And I will see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye!